Brant, can you touch on the local bank relationships and how valuable that is, whether you need them now or not, but over time, how valuable they can be?
Yeah, they're like Eddie mentioned a few times. They're critical, and that was what I learned quickly was whenever I began in hard money refinancing with Fannie Mae, and then they cut me off, and then I had multiple homes in hard money loans. I was like, oh crap, what do I do now? What's a local bank?
What do I do now?
Yes. And you figure it out, right? So they're absolutely critical, and that's my acquisition and long-term game plan. One-on-one. Here's the blueprint. We buy it. We buy it with private money, and then we go to have loans with Allegiance Bank. So we have loans with Spirit of Texas, which I guess now is Simmons Bank or whatever. And so I keep those relationships. I talk to my guy at Spirit of Texas almost every single week because we're constantly doing things with them. So you got to have the short-term game figured out, and you got to have the long-term game figured out. And if you prove yourself, then there's other things that could arise, in terms of getting a line of credit, right, for your own deals, getting a line of credit to do lending to other people, for other people. So it's absolutely critical. I would venture to say I guess I'd maybe still be in business, but I may not had I not had those long-term loans or lenders, and I maybe pay a little bit more sometimes. Like maybe I could get some better financing. I don't know. But my local lenders have always been good to me. They're here, and it's like I said, it's not necessarily relationship-based lending like it is with my lenders, where things a little bit more flexible. But I've got a great relationship, with my guy at Spirit of Texas. Like I said, we talk all the time. I say, here's what I've got a development project that I've been doing on my own, and it's getting to the point where I don't know if I can do it on my own. I'm like, I'm looking for help, and don't know if I want to bring in equity partners or my local bank. So that's what we're talking. I'm like, here's what I have. Ideally, this is what I would like. What can you do? And send him. He's like, let me see. I think I can do something. And he's talking to his people. So they're critical. Is the short answer. Those relationships you can't build overnight. Like if you think you're going to need something a year from now, start now. You start working on those relationships now.
Anything you'd like to add, Eddie?
I agree with Brant. I mean, it's all of you got to have a community bank in your hip pocket. Start with one. If you got your savings and your stuff at Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, the big boys, they're never going to work with you on this stuff. Get it over. He mentioned Allegiance. You mentioned Spirit of Texas, also both good banks. I bank with those guys along with Central Bank, Texas Citizens Bank. I can go on and on and on. Plains Capital. There's a bunch of them out there.
Independent Financial's another. They're good ones.
Yeah, Independent Bank. That's right.